Might as well do an injury update. Paul Finback, his eye. I've just seen him there. It's a little bit swollen, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, but he's fine. He just took a bit of a whack on it. He'll be okay. He's trained this morning. There's no problems at all. So no concerns over Finn at all.
Ben Barkley.
Yeah, Ben. Not great news on Ben, as I said on Tuesday night. We're looking at 6 to 8 weeks. So he's already started to do his rehab work, and that'll continue now as we carry on over the next few weeks.
And you mentioned Jack Armour as well. A little concern with him.
Yeah, again, Jack's okay. He just had a spasm from the game at the weekend in like his shoulder blades, his back, and he's been treated this week with Chris in the medical department, and he's been fine to train today, so he'll be okay as well.
Any others that have crept up on you?
No, we had a couple of knocks from the other night. I thought it was quite a physical bruising encounter, but no, everybody's okay. Everybody's declared themselves fit, so it's just a case of getting the selection right now.
I know you do this part of the process. You have your reaction on a post-match immediately, then you review the game. Is there anything different to what you saw live?
No, not at all, to be honest with you. I mean, some contentious refereeing decisions that I've been able to see again on a replay, and I know the refs don't have the ability to be able to do that. Some strange ones that were made that I'm asking for observations on. But no, the big thing was I thought there was a lot of positive things from the first half in particular. But again, you have to go and finish those off. There was some good individual performances, and I'm talking about the first half, some real good individual performances, some good unit stuff, created some real good chances. We just didn't make the most of them. We didn't benefit from those. And then second half, again, I'll go back to what I said. We weren't good enough in the second half, and we let ourselves down in the way that we went about it. Gave the ball away a little bit sloppy. We weren't able to deal with the way that they pressed us and the way they got about us. And certainly areas that we need to improve on.
Again, you've said this in the past, and I know the Blackburn and Wigan games were absolutely fantastic, but do we sometimes expect too much from players who haven't been playing that real competitive edge football when we throw them in?
Yeah, we expect them to do the simple things well. That's what we do. I don't know if that's expecting too much, but I felt as though the players were in a good place going into the game. They've had a couple of good workouts, so they weren't going into the Accrington game on the back of weeks and weeks of not having any match practice. So I'm not going to make excuses. It was a different level of intensity, and it's a level of intensity they have to get used to, because there's every chance that some of them could be needed on Saturday at Stevenage, and I can assure everybody the intensity will be there on Saturday, and players have got to be able to deal with it. Unfortunately, in the second half we weren't able to, and that's something they've got to learn from.
And with what you've seen on Tuesday night and the way the lads train, there must be some real sort of issues in terms of selection in your head for what you do for the best permutation on Saturday.
Well, I think what I would say is we've got some competition. I don't think everybody did themselves the world of good on Tuesday night. I'd be wrong to say that. But we've certainly got good competition in places, and that's what we want to have. We need even more, though. I want everybody to be competing. We are still learning to compete at this higher level. We're still building to be able to compete. It wasn't ever going to happen in one transfer window, so we've just got to make sure we keep building and get ourselves to a point where we have a group who are able to compete at League One level.
It's frustrating, isn't it, for everybody when you're right on the brink of being that group, because you can see the good things. You've mentioned them yourself. You can see that they're there and ticking under rather than ticking over.
Yeah, we're not. I keep saying it, but it counts for nothing what we say. We're not a million miles away. We've done, in all of the games we've played this season, we've had spells where we've done well. I think we've probably showed more control in terms of possession in those spells this season than we did last season, so that's something we're improving on. We've probably not been as clinical in the final third as we were last season, whether that's the step up in level or whether that's what we're doing. It's probably a little bit of both. The truth of it is, though, we have to improve. We've got to be better. If we want to do anything this season, we have to make sure we keep improving.
You mentioned that team meeting you had, 10 days or whatever it was ago now. How much did that help just to clear minds? And we got the win at the weekend after it, so did it help?
The honest answer is I have no idea. I don't know whether the win would have come anyway, but you do things... You do things because you think they're the right thing to do. I do things because I think they're the right things to do. we're always learning. I'm always learning, even at 57. The coaches are learning, the players are always learning. And so long as we've all got that hunger to learn, we're not going to go far wrong. We're going to keep pushing and keep driving standards to make sure that we keep trying to improve. And so long as everybody's on board with that, then we can't really ask any more, and that's what we'll continue to do.
Feels like summer's finally arrived. Has training been different because of the heat? And I know we've had a notification from the AFL about just keep an eye on the temperatures. Does that change the way you approach a game or training?
Not at all. No. It makes it a much more pleasant environment to be in. If we're training in shorts and t-shirts and not got rain jackets and hats and gloves on in September, that's brilliant. It's not a problem. The weather is an excuse. This is what you want to be. We're outside. We're working outside on grass. Nobody can complain about that. Yes, it's a little bit warm, but I'd much rather have it that than the snow and the sleet and the rain, which I can be virtually sure of we are going to be getting as the season goes on.
Stevenage, it's one of those teams that they've started really well. It could be another tough game.
It's a real tough game. I mean, I just heard before that it's the best start in League One for any newly promoted side after 6 games. So they've had a great start. They're a good group of players. There's no denying that. They've got a good, strong group. Steve Evans probably doesn't get the credit he deserves because he knows how to put a winning team out. It's as simple as that. And this will be a really, really tough game for us. It's a game that we're really looking forward to, though. We can go there, we can go and give it our best shot, we can go and try and spoil their party because they have an opportunity to go top of the league, and we've got to do everything we can to stop that happening.
And that strength, there's a physicality to the way they play as well, isn't there?
Oh no, they are. They're a strong, robust side. They will bombard our box, they will get the ball forward. They've got experienced players who know how to get results, and we've got to learn really quickly how to make sure we get results as well.
Often painted as a team who use the dark arts. I mean, whether that can happen this season with the rule changes, who knows? But they're also a team that play football.
Oh no, they're an effective team. The rule changes this season probably have kept the ball in play more often than it was last season. It's working for them because they've got some wins under the belt. I think they're sat with 13 points at the moment, which is a great achievement for a newly promoted side. They'll have had the same experience that we've had in that we're seeing it's a step up. They got themselves up before we did by doing it automatically, so they were a little bit ahead of the game. But we know it's going to be tough. We know this is going to be a tough place to go. I've heard Steve's trying to get the fans encouraged to come in, so hopefully it'll be a good crowd, a good atmosphere, and we've got to do everything we can to try and spoil their party.
Steve was extremely complimentary about us during the playoff campaign. He was one of the pundits for all of the games. I mean, he knows us as well, doesn't he? He knows what to expect.
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah, I mean, I know we've made some changes to our group as well. It's a great game. It's a brilliant game to look forward. It was a good game to look forward to in League 2. It's an even better game to look forward to in League 1, and it's a game that we've just got to go and roll our sleeves up, try and play our way, because if we try and play Stevenage's way, the chances are they'll be better at it than we are. So we've got to go and play our way and hopefully come out on top.
And build on the good work we did last weekend.
Yeah, that's what you're always trying to do. Just keep stepping forward, keep moving forward. And this is a test. Can we go and back up last weekend's performance and last week's result by getting 2 league performances with a bit of consistency? And that's what I'm hoping we see.
And even though it is on the northern tip of the London area, we're going to have those fans there. You mentioned on Tuesday night you don't want to be letting them down.
No, we know we're going to get good support. We had great support there last season, and we can't really ask any more of our fans. They're turning up in the numbers. They'll be there again this weekend, and as I say, we have to go and perform for ourselves firstly, for the football club, for the supporters, and if we do that, then we'll all make it a real pleasant journey home wherever we're getting back to.
Has it been more relaxed now that the transfer window stuff has gone? Well, it hasn't, because you'll be working towards January, I guess.
Yeah, it's more relaxed, yeah. I can assure everyone I'm sleeping a lot easier at night because I had some not sleepless but restless nights for the last few weeks of the window, as I'm sure Greg will admit that he did. He's certainly a lot more relaxed, but literally on Monday, I think it was, the window closed Friday night. On Monday there's an email come round to me and all the part-time scouts saying, right, the work starts now for January, and that's what we have to do. I'm planning to have a meeting with him over the next week or two to talk about where I think we're going to need strengthening in the January window. because of the rumours that are going round about change of ownerships, we don't know where we stand in terms of budgets and all that type of thing. Hopefully over the next few weeks we'll get some news on that, and we'll be able to get really planning for what could be another really important window for us.
I mean, the owners are meeting the fans. The main fan group is going to have them, I think, streaming live on the internet, talking to them about the potential takeover. Does that mean that something else is in the offing? Is it almost there?
The honest answer is I don't know. I found out the other day that they're meeting the supporters, which I think is important because they need to understand what's going on as well. So I don't honestly know where it's at. That's the truth of it. I know there's things going on in the background, so it's moving at a pace. I don't know what's going to happen. My job is to focus on what's going on here inside the building, make sure the players are preparing right for games, make sure the staff are all in a good place, and I'm quite sure when there's something for us to hear about, we'll be told about it.
Have you been given an indication, salary cost management wise? Could it change the whole landscape for January, or are we still confined by that?
Oh no, we're always going to be confined by the salary management, and I don't know at this moment what it will be. We'll find out in due course. We know what we've spent, and I'm really thankful for the directors for what they've done so far to help us get along, and we'll just keep working till we get told any different.
And just finally, Paul, that done with the transfer window, when you assess that squad, for us it feels like the way it all ended with JJ coming in. We've got a squad. Are you really confident with what you got as well?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with what we've got. I think there's players who need to come and step up to what we're doing. That's my challenge to them all the time. You know, there's some players who are not reaching the levels that we want them to. But I'm demanding that all the time. I want them all to keep improving. I want them to be better because I want a group of players for this next part of the season to come and contribute. There's no point just being here as a number. I want everybody to contribute because over the course of this run of games up till January, I would imagine we're all going to be needed.
Thank you.